What's going on, everyone? So, The Athletic released some information in regards to the Lakers, and one of the details was that the Lakers have interest in Bruce Brown. The Lakers are interested in acquiring Bruce Brown. The Lakers were close to signing him last offseason instead of Gabe Vincent, but then the Indiana Pacers came in and said, hey, we'll double what the Lakers are going to give you, which worked out for Indiana because they were able to go get Pascal Siakam, but it kind of makes you wonder, like, what would the Lakers look like with Bruce Brown in the Gabe Vincent role? Now, Gabe Vincent has been much better lately. Bruce Brown is just bigger, more athletic, and just more physical. Like, he would be ideal. I have talked in the past before about Bruce Brown and how high I am on going and acquiring Bruce Brown. He's everything this team needs. Toughness at the guard position, can initiate the offense, right? Can essentially defend 1 through 3. He's 6'4" with a 6'9" wingspan. He doesn't cower. He's physical. He's tough, right? He'd be excellent in this style of offense that the Lakers are running under J.J. Redick as, the screen setter, the slasher, the cutter, right? He can, on many occasions, even defend the 4 spot, depending on the matchup, obviously. But he's a guy that would be ideal slotted in alongside like an Austin Reeves or whatever else the Lakers end up doing to kind of round out the roster. I am huge on Bruce Brown. I like the idea of Bruce Brown. I have talked about how the more that I talk and think about Bruce Brown, the more I love the idea of Bruce Brown, just because we know what he can bring to the table. He doesn't fold in the moment. In the playoffs, he's just as good, if not better, right? He can start, he can come off the bench. Whatever you need him to do, he'll do it. He does the dirty work, he grinds, he plays hard, never worried about his effort, energy, anything like that, right? The thing is, this season, he has yet to play this season, which I don't think is a big concern, right? I know some people have been like, why would you want Bruce Brown when he hasn't played? Look at Christian Wood, look at Jared Vanderbilt. But Bruce Brown doesn't have this like insane history of not playing. Like last season, he played in 67 games, played in 80 games, 72, 65, 58, and 74. The guy doesn't have an injury history where you have to be concerned, where it's like, this guy, like a Malcolm Brogdon, for example. Lakers are interested in acquiring a Malcolm Brogdon. He's the guy that you question his injury history. It's like, is this guy going to give you more than like 50 games a season? Bruce Brown gives you all the same stuff. I've talked about, Malcolm Brogdon and Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown gives you exactly what you need. He's younger. He's 28 years old. Not that Brogdon's like 36 or anything, but he's 32. It gives you a couple extra years. You can re-sign him next season because you know that he wanted to be a Laker. He was going to go to the Lakers until, again, he got his bag, which, hey, good for him, right? As much as I wanted to see him on the Lakers, get your money, man. Like $22 million a year. He's making like $23 million this season. Like, get your money. Come back to the Lakers this season, or in the offseason, I wouldn't be against trying to sign him, right? If LeBron, take a discount, go bring in Bruce Brown, even in a backup role, even as like the Gabe Vincent slotted guy, I think Bruce Brown would be great at the mid-level exception or something like that, $11 million a year in that range. Bruce Brown would be fantastic. I just really like the idea of a guy that does the dirty work, that does the hustle plays, right? Big, physical, athletic, right? Can apply rim pressure, shoot and operate. He makes a lot of sense. But let's get into the numbers, right? Because we don't have a sample size this season, so we don't know like what progress he's going to have. Also, you'll probably, if you're the Lakers, probably got to wait until he gets back on the court and then give him a handful of games to kind of see, okay, is he good? Is he healthy? Because you see a lot of times like guys will come back and then a week later or whatever, they're hurt again. So, what does he look like? Is he back? Is he comfortable? Is he starting to look like the Bruce Brown? Good thing is too, like with Jared Vanderbilt, the style in which he plays and the way that in which he plays, and the injury, it being a foot issue on both feet, right? Like it's concerning, right? Bruce Brown, he should be fine, right? Especially the style in which he plays, the way he plays. Bruce Brown should be fine. Just things to keep in mind. But going off of last season, because that's all we really have to go off of. So you can look through Indiana and Toronto, but I'm just going to do the season between the two. He was better with Indiana than he was with the Toronto Raptors. But he also played a very different role. He started in Indiana. He came off the bench for the Toronto Raptors. But looking at the entirety of the season, 67 games, in which he started 44 total between both teams. He averaged 28 minutes a game. He had 8.7 attempts on average at 47.8%, so basically 48% from the field total. He shot 32.3% from three-point range on 2.4 attempts per game. He shot 53.8% on 6.2 two-point attempts per game. EFG of 52.3%. He shot 82.4% from the foul line, which the Lakers really need, especially the free throws, right? The free throws are a major issue for the Lakers. Rebounding. This guy gives you 4.2 rebounds a game, 3 assists, a steal, half a block, and 11 points per game. And that was last season between both teams. Like I said, he was actually better on Indiana. They're very similar, but slightly more playing time, shot attempts, things like that. He averaged 12.9 points. But you look at like what he did with Denver. And that's where, again, he's familiar with the style of offense, all stuff. Like, I think Denver is a good example of like what he can provide for the Lakers because, we're very different than Indiana and the Toronto Raptors especially, but you also have a guy like LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, things like that. So how did Bruce Brown kind of play off of it as that off-ball guy? Well, in Denver, that season that they won the championship, right? 80 games, started 31, averaged 29 minutes per game, 9.3 field goal attempts, 48% from the field total. He shot 36% from three-point range on 3.2 attempts. He shot 55% from two-point range on 6.1 attempts, had an EFG of 54.5%. He shot 76% from the foul line on 1.8 attempts per game, just under, like literally a hair under 5 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 1.1 steals, a block, and 9 points per game. That would be beautiful in the starting unit, right? The three-point shooting, right, if he can be around 36%, something like that. Now, he is a career 34% three-point shooter, 33.7 if you want to be exact. He has had good seasons. He had with Brooklyn, his last season with Brooklyn, he shot 40.5%, but on 1.3 attempts. So very small. He's not a guy that takes a bunch of threes, not a guy that likes to shoot in abundance, but he's a guy that can get to his spots in the mid-range, get to the basket, apply rim pressure, again, be physical, he can finish through contact. To me, I think he would be ideal for what this team needs, particularly out on the perimeter. It also gives you and maintains flexibility. One of the things that I've talked about with Malcolm Brogdon recently, because of the news that came out about Malcolm Brogdon, Brogdon, again, is that ideal prototypical 3-and-D guard that you need. A guy that, just like Bruce Brown, can defend 1 through 3, on many nights defend the 4, right? Physical, gives you good size. He's obviously the better three-point shooter. Career 39% three-point shooter, right? I like the idea of Malcolm Brogdon. Also, if you could get that. But like with Bruce Brown and even a guy like a Malcolm Brogdon, it gives you that flexibility to where they're not going to make, 20 plus million next season. Right? So what that does is, let's say you give them 11, 12 million. Well, you just cleared 10 to 12 million off your books. LeBron James could take essentially whatever he wants, so you could easily free up your full mid-level exception, plus maybe even free up a little space to go get another piece or two, right? Like, if you clear 30, 40 million off your books between, the vet minimum guys falling off, whatever expiring you have, a guy like a Bruce Brown or Malcolm Brogdon basically cutting their salaries in half, and then LeBron James could take 20 to 25 million if need be, if you're a piece away or two. Again, I don't hate the idea, right? I would prefer, personally, Bruce Brown over a Malcolm Brogdon. I do, however, think Malcolm Brogdon's probably more likely, just because Lakers, Valanciunas has been linked. You have Kyle Kuzma. Like, I could see something where the Lakers just try to get everything done in one swoop. Also, Malcolm Brogdon, because of his injury history and because of his age, chances are you're probably not going to get a great return for Malcolm Brogdon, so he's probably cheaper. Like Bruce Brown, you're not giving up a first for, in my opinion. But I do think that, it'd probably take 4 seconds or like a pick swap, or Malcolm Brogdon you probably get for 2 seconds, right? And you'd probably be able to package, like I mentioned, everything together, get like a Valanciunas, a Kyle Kuzma, Malcolm Brogdon, or a Kyle Kuzma and a Malcolm Brogdon, or Valanciunas and a Malcolm Brogdon, right? Like kind of, piece in whatever you need to piece in. So I do think that is something to kind of keep an eye on and keep in mind. But if the Lakers could find a way to land Bruce Brown, I think that's perfect. And I've talked about it before. The more that I think and talk about Bruce Brown and kind of envision him alongside, Dorian Finney-Smith, and if you can get a Cody Martin or whatever, right? And then LeBron James, Anthony Davis, get like a Day'Ron Sharpe, right? Like you do these things. Like let's say you do the Nets trade, and then you go get like a Bruce Brown. You get Day'Ron Sharpe, Dorian Finney-Smith, Brandon or Bruce Brown. Go trade for like a Cody Martin. Perfect, right? Bring in like a Markelle Fultz or a Dennis Smith Jr. Right now you got the athleticism at the guard position in the backup role. Defensively, get a guy in Cody Martin that can be that 3-and-D 6'6", 6'7" wing that can play 2 through 4, right? Bring in a Dorian Finney-Smith, again 6'7", can defend 1 through 4, play slot in 2 through 4, and then add in a Bruce Brown and that physicality and that I really like the idea of that. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like the idea of Bruce Brown on the Lakers? Do you think, like, yes, he is the ideal kind of point guard, combo guard, 2 guard, whatever, that you can slot in, be that point of attack, be that physical presence, right? Not cower or handle ball pressure well, be a good screen setter, be a roll man, knock down the occasional 3, kind of be in the thick of it for the Lakers, do the dirty work, right? Which is the big thing Lakers need those do the dirty work guys. But again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.